Mr. Michael Virardi, who's our next speaker, is honored us today by attending our conference. Please welcome Mr. Virardi to the stage.
We completed an 8-hour workshop
when he picked up the phone himself personally and called an unknown Louis dancer to congratulate him for downloading the 10th billion song on iTunes.
Know your product inside out. Know your competitors inside out. Because if you do, you have an advantage. You have freedom of mind.
Mr. Michael Virardi.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on which time zone you're in. I'm so happy to welcome you all to our 5th on-air mentoring, which is the last on-air mentoring for 2020. Until all of our friends and fans get here, let's see who's joined us. Send us the name and country you come from, your name, your country. So let's see who's joining. Have a loyal fan base, and we've seen a lot of people here. We want to see which country. And one of my friends, Sabas promised to get me a map, which we'll put at the back here. And each country that appears, we're going to scratch it off until we get the whole world. So welcome to our on-air mentoring and waiting for your comments to see. Constantino is the first. Good morning from Greece. Good morning, Constantinos. Always lovely to have you here. Let's see who else. We are streaming live from Facebook, from YouTube, and LinkedIn. If you're on YouTube, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Sophia will be sending you a link later on to our YouTube channel. We'll be more than happy if you want to know about our new releases, new videos coming out, and there will be a lot in 2021. So make sure you subscribe and get informed first. Let's see who else has joined us and from which country. This 5th on-air mentoring has no particular subject. We said we will open it up to the world at large to ask your questions and get answers. So there is no particular topic. We talked about check your sound. Constantinos says check my sound. Constantinos, I will use this. Let me say.
Hi, Michael. Yeah, I think there is an echo.
Check my sound. Is this better now?
Yes.
Is this better? Yes, great. Thank you, Sophia, for showing up when problems arise. So, Stathis, George Spiro, good morning. Sophia, if my sound is okay. If it's not okay, you can interfere, please. Good morning from Malathasa Mountains. Good morning from Cyprus. Ioanna Hanzi, my friend, is here. Sound not good, but now sound is great. If not, let me know, Ioanna. Savia Pavlou, that's much better sound. Great, I'm so happy. Constantino gave us the thumbs up. Yes. Let's see who else is here. Everyone is from LinkedIn. Don't we have any? Gada from Malaysia. She's always there. By the way, Gada, I checked your videos out. Sorry I didn't write back to you. And I like them very much. And I highly suggest you check Gada's videos. It's perfect now, Stathis says. So Stathis, you know what my Christmas gift will be, all right? Just joking, my friend. What else? Ioanna, perfect now, great. LinkedIn is showing up. Let's see, we have people from Facebook, and we're waiting for YouTube to appear. So let me ask you a question. How has 2020 been for you? In one word, how would you describe 2020? Out of your experiences from all these things that happen, I don't want to influence or bias your opinion, but in one word, how do you describe 2020? LinkedIn user, good morning, dear Michael. Have a feeling that's my friend Frosinis. He never appears as a name. George Marco, good morning, everyone. Greetings from Greece. Greece is supporting us, always there. So how has 2020 been for you? In one word, how would you describe 2020? George Laizidis says superb. Wow. George, I want to hear more about that. Nikos Kamakiotis says restricted. Natasha Stylianou says challenging. I can sympathize and empathize with that. Ioanna sends Hanzi sends challenging. You're right, Stathis, that's how I felt. Uncertain. Anyone else? Anyone else? Boxing fight, Dimitris Pieroudis. Dimitris Pieroudis has an amazing 2 words, boxing fight. It's true. Konstantinos says challenge, very challenging, very true. Let's wait for some more answers. If you haven't read my blog post about the lessons I learned in 2020, just let me tell you, tough. George Spiros says tough. Yes, that's one. That's what I experienced as well. Let me tell you that Sophia will be dropping a link into all of our discussions once the on-air mentoring is over, so you can read the lessons I've learned in 2020. And just let me tell you that what I discovered in 2020 is the following. I found the year to be very challenging. I found the year to be very unpredictable, but I also found the year to be very exciting. As I said in the blog post, we've lost over with Sophia 70% of our business. That was confirmed business, but at the same time, we learned a lot of things. Let me just mention a few things from the blog post. Number one was that we understood that the only constant thing in life is change, other than death and taxes, of course. And change can find you unprepared. So what we say in the blog post, and what I truly believe, is that you should have more financial resources than you think you need. You should have more mental resources than you think you need. So do read those books that will keep your motivation up, your inspiration up, but will also help you upskill. So you are never as prepared as you think you are. And that was one thing that I understood. Secondly, what I really understood is that count your blessings. In 2020, I couldn't get out of the house that much. So I'm happy to announce to all of you, and I hope you are happy to hear it too, that my wife is pregnant with twins, a girl and a boy. I'll be releasing the names as soon as I know the names, as soon as Christine tells me the names. So we're going to become a family of 5, including Rolando and Christine. And if I include Lucky as well, our dog, family of 6, which I have to include her. So they restricted us inside the house, so we had to become productive inside the house. So that's our news. Thirdly, priorities do change. And as my late father used to tell me, we passed by the cemetery that he now rests in. He said, Michael, do you see all these graves? None of these people managed to finish their work or their pending tasks. So son, you will never be able to finish all your pending tasks. So prioritize, understand that life is like a wave that is about to hit the shore. Sometimes it will hit you hard, sometimes it will hit you softer. So do change your priorities. And in my case, somebody asked me recently, with what budget or with what mentality are you going into 2021? I'm going into 2021 with one word: gratitude. Everything that I've lost, from the coffee that I used to sit down with my friends and enjoy and exchange ideas, that is now restricted, to the restaurants that I used to sit in and have quality time with my family, everything has gone. We are restricted for the time being. So we need to show gratitude for everything, for the small things in life. So I'm going into 2021 not only with a budget that comes third and fourth, and with a strategy. I'm going into 2021 with one word, and that word is gratitude. You can read the blog post and find out more, but I have to say a very big thank you, and that's another outcome of having a team. I have to say a very big thank you to Sophia, because part and parcel of going into 2021 strong, even though we lost 70% of our business, is Sophia's ingenuity, is Sophia's assistance, is Sophia's ideas, and together we make a strong team. We also have to thank our intern Maria, who has been with us for over 4 months. She has been very helpful, and we appreciate the fact that she has joined our family even for a short period of time. Savia Pablo says, amazing news. Thank you for your amazing input. Keep inspiring us. Congratulations. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your support. I hope you come by and help me raise the children and help me some more. Not only with words, but with actions. Just joking. So, Sophia, what do we have next? Shall we take some of our questions from our audience?
So, hi, first of all, before we go into the questions, I just wanted to thank everybody who sent us questions for this on-air mentoring. We had really very interesting questions, and once we finish, I will also add the link to continue applying. And just because you were not selected today doesn't mean that we will not have you in the next episodes. So those of you who have not contacted yet, be sure that I will contact you today. There are a couple of persons that I didn't have time to contact.
Sophia, can you please, because I forgot to mention, can you tell them about our 2 gifts? Because I promised everyone they're going to be announced today, and tell them what the gifts are and how they can win the gifts. I forgot to mention that.
Yes, definitely. So for this episode, those who are kind enough to share this episode, you will go into a draw. And the 2 gifts are free access to Stand Up, Stand Out, Michael's course on public speaking, which is amazing and excellent. I have gone through it. And the second gift is 45 minutes private one-to-one coaching with Michael. So feel free to share this episode.
Excellent. Thank you.
So moving on to the question, or may I say, we have selected only one question today, and the reason is, personally, I thought that this is one of the questions that goes through the minds of many people working in companies right now, and it's such a multifaceted question that I thought that it deserves to be given more time. And with that being said, I will bring on Evangelia, and you will learn more about her question.
Hi.
Hello, Evangelia. Hello, Evangelia, and welcome to the On-Air Mentoring.
Hello. It is my first time, so bear with me.
Feel comfortable. Feel comfortable. Just introduce yourself. Tell them which company you work for, your title, and your question.
I am Evangelia. I am working on the HR field. And working right now, I am with Hyperion System Engineering. It's a company that provides engineering and software development solutions to our companies, our clients. The competition is big. So yes, we have a fast-paced environment. We hear this a lot. And the main question for Michael is the culture change.
Can you repeat the?
The culture change.
Culture change, of course.
Such a fast-paced environment. And to be more specific, our main challenge here in our company is to attract and maintain new generation in our company, and to engage them in our practices and things like that.
Okay, very good. So just to see that I understood, just to make sure that I understood the question well, how do you attract and maintain the new generation in the company in order to have a strong culture within Hyperion? And Hyperion deals with projects, if I understood well, simulations with companies like various companies, for example, which industries?
Mainly in oil and energy.
Oil and energy, very good. So that's a great question, and thank you for coming up to the show. Evangelia will say that now is the perfect time to attract and retain the new generation. And my feeling is that going into 2021, companies that want to progress and grow will have to adopt and adapt to a hybrid model. And by hybrid model, I mean some people working from the office, some people working remotely, or these people can interchange working remotely and also working at the office. The new generation, and mainly I'm talking about millennials, I would say that they are used to this. They are vying. They want this model. First and foremost, they are studying at universities where they are in and out of campus. They are working from the glass, from Zoom. So these people talking to HR managers across the globe and also in Cyprus. And yesterday I was talking to the HR manager of Remedica, Andreas, who said that they are asking us for a model that they can come into the office some days, but also work from home. And millennials want ownership. Millennials want to feel a sense of ownership. And by ownership, I don't think they mean give me shares into your company, but they mean trust me enough to do the job and give me my freedom to work remotely. So first and foremost for Hyperion, I would say adopt and adapt to this model if you're not already doing it, and I have a feeling that you are. Secondly, in order to attract this talent, understand that the company culture has to adopt and adapt. So they will be working remotely, but they have to feel part and parcel of your company. And you have to find a way to get your induction done through Zoom, through Microsoft Teams. You have to make sure that these people live the culture and the values of the company. So if one of your values is to be prompt in answering back, they have to understand that they need to be very prompt in answering back to their customers. They won't be there to model your behavior. So you have to make sure that you have an electronic door open for them all the time and have communication channels going back and forth so they understand which mentality and which culture they need to adopt. But you also need to have 2 ears and 1 mouth in your case, in the Hyperion management case, to understand the new generation, to listen to their concerns, and above all, listen to their suggestions. The other thing I would say, I have a feeling that Hyperion and Hyperion professionals travel a lot, or they used to travel a lot before the Corona crisis. So if you have talent traveling for you, you run the risk of losing them. Make sure that you pay good salaries, and make sure that those salaries are above at least what the industry is paying. So you don't put all this trouble and go through the trainings, finding the talent, and then not being able to preserve your talent. And as the late Tony Shi, the CEO of Zappos, which they sell shoes online, says, the younger generation, but also the older generation, our generation, for example, I'm talking about my generation, not yours, they need to have a sense of control, a sense of purpose, and a sense of connectiveness. By sense of control, they need to know that, I will give you one of my favorite proverbs, tell people what to do, don't tell them how to do it, and they will surprise you with their ingenuity. So leave the new generation, work on a task, and then give them constructive feedback, but give them ownership of the task. We can go through this talking for hours. I'm trying to be as succinct as possible and trying to help Hyperion and yourself. So please do let me know if you want.
No. It's a efficient response. So yes, thank you very much.
In the sense of give them a sense of purpose. If their purpose ties into the organizational purpose, that's even better. The one example that comes to my mind is Swissport. At Swissport, they go through trainings. They have a great video that is very emotional. And the whole message that comes out is that some people are saving money for a lifetime or for the whole year to go on that trip. Just make sure that you connect with them on an emotional level, that you do not spoil their holidays, and that you help them live their dream. And that becomes the purpose of the individual, which becomes the purpose of the company. And if you get everything right, and if you're immaculate in doing that, it becomes a win-win-win situation. And last but not least, a sense of connectiveness. Now more than ever, we are lacking a handshake. Now more than ever, we're lacking people to put their arms across us and tell us, Evangelia, you're doing a good job, or Evangelia, stay with it, you will manage. Now more than ever, we are missing this emotional touch. I would say that if you cannot meet face-to-face, if there are restrictions, corona restrictions, then meet electronically, discuss something other than business. Try to find ways to engage your people, as we did recently with a company in New York City and 5 satellite offices across the world, where people came together, exchanged ideas. It was completely anonymous. We had a great time, and people felt connected to the company's purpose, and they felt that they contributed to the company's purpose. So in closing, I would say that this is not a time to reap. This is a time to put your seeds in the ground and wait for them to grow. Mm-hmm. So give your people control, and I'm not talking only about the new generation. Give your people a sense of purpose, and I'm not talking only about millennials, and try to make sure, and looking at you from your smile, from the way you ask your questions, from the way you care, from the way that you found the courage to come here live on air, that you truly care, and together with your team, try to connect the whole Hyperion team.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a pleasure. If you want to ask something else, please be my guest.
It's all right. It's all right.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Evangelia. Thank you for showing up. And I'm going to be reading some of the comments here. Agata Bosjeko says, great advice. Sophia, you can show some of the comments if you like. Great advice. Good thing is to share the culture as well, showing them what you do on social media. Excellent, Agata. Employer branding is the key of attracting best talents. Truly agree with you, and thank you. Savia Bablu says transitional. They need EVP protocols. Konstantinos Konstantinou. Savia Bablu says transitional word for 2020. Transitional. And as Darwin has said, it's not the strongest or the fastest species that will survive. It's the one that is more adaptable to change. So it's very, very important to be adaptable to change. Companies and individuals at the same time. I was talking to an HR manager yesterday. I asked him of a huge company, pharmaceutical company. I asked him, which are the skills that you think people should come into the office or work in a hybrid model? Which are the skills that they will need going into 2021? He said, number one, to be adaptable, because we had some people coming into the office and they cannot get used to it. They feel that they are out of their comfort zone. In his own terms, he said, it's like we had 2 lions loose inside our organization. So it's important to be adaptable. It also applies to our children. It applies to us as professionals, irrespective of our age. Secondly, and I'm so happy he said that, because in my first ever webinar after the Corona crisis, I said it as well, people need to be able to have negotiation skills, and I would add influencing skills. Influencing skills inside the organization as well as with their customers, because coming into 2021, the companies that are going to survive and then hopefully thrive are going to become more customer service oriented. They will provide a better customer experience, and you will have a lot of competition on your hands. Not in terms of price, even though some of them will lower their price if they cannot increase their value. So you need to be able to influence decisions. You need to be able to negotiate not only pricing, but negotiate a win-win agreement both for your customer and for yourself, and you need to be adaptable. And the last thing he told me, the last thing he said is that managers need to understand how to manage their teams. And what I told him is that they shouldn't manage their teams should manage themselves. So it's very important going into 2021 to be adaptable, to be flexible, to have influencing skills, negotiating skills, and have a team that manages itself. So if you want to get a chance, before I bring Sophia on, to win the Stand Up, Stand Out, a yearly subscription of the Stand Up, Stand Out, our public speaking, communication, and presentation skills course, please do share this episode now or after this episode is finished By the end of the day, we will announce the 2 winners. And if you wanted to go one-on-one with me, a 45-minute one-on-one coaching, again, share this episode so we get more people on this call and also more people viewing it. Sophia.
Thank you very much. I think we reached the end of our show. And I have to say thank you so much for this insightful episode. I really enjoyed it.
Sophia is based in Switzerland, so she wants to be exactly on time, so I respect that. Savia Bablu, thank you for your comment. You went digitally so quickly. I remember the first one. I remember it too, and that's the reason I started collaborating with Sophia, because the first one didn't work out very well, and then Sophia came back and we made it work. I want to wish each and every one of you and your families a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year 2021. I'm not going to tell you the year should be better than 2020, because there are also lessons to be learned when we lose or when things don't go as we predicted them or as well as we wanted them. So have another great year in 2021. And thank you very much for being so loyal and for supporting us. Thank you, Sophia.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.